I'm now in a village called Kayakoy. Now, Kayakoy used to be known as Fethiye. For centuries, Christians and Muslims occupied this village. About 10,000 people lived here. There are churches, there's school. It was abandoned in 1923 due to the forced population exchange that happened following the Turkey-Greco war. Both countries wanted just one religion, so the Christians were forced out of Turkey and the Muslims were forced out of Greece. And this has been abandoned ever since. What an incredible place. The Muslims that came from Greece didn't want to live here because they found it too remote, so the place became abandoned. Only a few of the houses were occupied, and then in the 1950s there was a major earthquake, which is why a lot of the buildings look like this. And just here is the old school. Wow, the place is huge. It's much bigger than I thought it was. Apparently there are approximately 500 houses. This is definitely too big to be a house, so I reckon that this is either one of the churches or maybe this is the school. I reckon that this is the school and that I've just been to look at is the church. It didn't say on the sign, it just said school. It didn't say anything about a church, so who knows. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can actually go in here to explore. A lot of the places you can't go in because obviously the structures are not safe. The earthquake that took place in the 1950s meant that the few people that did live here had to leave because the whole place just became like this. Which is why it looks much older than it actually is. It was built in like the 19th century, I think. So this is actually the church. What I thought was a school. It's the upper church, built in the 19th century. And it does say it's closed for safety reasons. Maybe we can get in this way? No. Now there's no real direction. There's no arrows telling you which way to go or which of the buildings have some kind of significance, like a church or a school or something like that. There's just basically, you can take your pick which one to go up. I mean, I've just walked up here. This is the main entrance, and I can either turn left and go and explore that way, straight on, or turn right down here. Now, I reckon if I turn right, that's going to take me all around there, so I'll get to explore the whole site. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn right. Because there's no information about any of this, it's hard to know what it is you're actually looking at, whether it's a house or a shop. There were 10,000 people who lived here, so there would have been shops. Obviously we've already seen a church and a school. It's hard to imagine that families who had lived here for generations were forced by their government to move to a different country, a country that perhaps they'd never even been to. Because the village had been abandoned for so long, I guess it was decided to preserve it rather than knock it all down. Wow. Not sure what this building is. What is there a way in? Yes, there is. I was thinking that maybe this was a shop of some kind, but maybe it was a place of worship. Let's buy souvenirs. Hello. Now, I don't recommend this place if you're not a great walker, because it's quite hard to walk around. As you can see, the paths are pretty difficult to walk on. Now, I'm okay with walking, but I'm struggling a little bit because I actually burnt the soles of my feet, believe it or not. Wow. This looks like it was definitely some kind of church. I can't believe there are actually people selling souvenirs. This is the second one I've seen. Hello. Okay, so this is the part then where people actually live. Got a souvenir shop. Imagine living in a ghost town. Has to be one of the strangest places to live. Having a house here. And this is your street. At least you're not going to have any trouble from the neighbours. So this population exchange that happened in 1923, so almost 100 years ago, meaning that it's very, very unlikely that anyone is still alive that can actually remember living here. They would have to be in, at least, 110 years old now to be able to remember, to be old enough to have lived here at a time where they actually have memories and not babies. So if someone was 6 years old, then that would make them like 105 years old now. So maybe there are one or two people still alive. It's quite unlikely, but 10,000 people, and how many of them would have been babies or small children? It's very unlikely. Another church, again closed for safety reasons. I'm not sure if it's ever been open and it's only recently been closed, or whether it's always been closed to the public. Some of the reviews that I've seen online say that in some of the churches you can see the old fresco paintings, so I'm not sure if that's in these churches that I've already seen that have both been closed, or whether there are more to discover. When I first came in, I did see a herd of goats just loose. In fact, here we go. It's like a huge goat playground. If you do come to Fethiye and you want to visit this place, then basically you can get a dolmuş from either the main station or in the old town near the White Mosque. If you just head to the White Mosque and just ask people, and they'll just point you in the right direction. It took about just over half an hour to get here, and it cost about 70 pence. Look at this. and admission to the actual site was 12.5 lira, which at the minute we're getting about 19 to the pound, so about 60-70 pence. There's a trail of ants that just goes on and on and on and on. So this butterfly that I thought looked very pretty, I'm just looking at the other side of it now, it looks like a wasp underneath. Don't like it anymore. I've got to say, after spending the last couple of weeks in Turkish holiday resorts that are pretty much filled with English holidaymakers, it's nice to be in a place like this again, seeing something unusual. Does this count as dark tourism? I'm not so sure. It's an interesting site though. This trail of ants is still going on. I've been walking for bloody a long time and this trail of ants is still going. This seems to be a popular hangout for the ants. They're all bringing things. I don't know if the GoPro's picking that up, but you can see they're all carrying things into this hole. And the other ones are going off to fetch stuff. Let's get away from the main path and let's go and explore some of these abandoned homes. Whew. Looks like I've reached the highest point of the village. Take some walking. So this is the final building. The highest point of the village. Well, I thought this was the highest point, but I've just looked up there and I can see there's another building. I don't know if it's a home or a church. Not exactly sure how to get to it. I've got to try, haven't I? So I'm literally at the highest point of the village. I've not gone up there yet, but as I've climbed up here, I've looked across to my left. We have the Mediterranean. Beautiful. And just over there is Rhodes. Oh, I'm not sure what this is, but this is the highest point. Not sure how many people venture this far. Can we get inside it? Yes, we can. Wow. Check out the view. I'm not sure what this place is, or was. It's only small, so I don't know if it was a little place of worship for people that lived up in the higher parts of the village. Interesting. I seem to have come down a different way because I can't remember this. Wow, it just goes on forever. I think that's the church that I came into. It is, because that's above there, that's what I'm now presuming is the school. So I'm hoping that this path that I've just come off, this path here, will lead me round to this area and then back down to the exit. Well, that's the end of my exploration of the abandoned ghost town of Kayakoy. And the bus stop I got dropped off at is also the bus stop that will take me back to Fethiye. I'm just looking around, there is literally, you know, there's a couple of restaurants and that's about it. So basically this whole village is based around the ghost town. What a crazy old place.
This